I think it's time that we speak on the bullying that Ariana Grande receives on the internet almost every day. Because this woman has gone from getting body shamed at the early stages of her career to straight up getting her music leaked by fans. Being a superstar nowadays comes with consequences, and unfortunately, Ariana Grande was one of those victims. As not only does she have a big influence on the older generation, but even the current generation as well. And for that, Ariana has earned one of the biggest followings among other artists, which made her become a huge target for so many people. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive deep into the issues that Ariana Grande struggled with during her career. We all know that Ariana Grande is one of the greatest musicians of all time. Not only did she achieve considerable success throughout her career, but she also gained such a huge fan base to the point where every generation began falling in love with Ariana's music as her career progressed. And while having such a large and dedicated fan base like any other popular celebrity, you would think that it's normal for individuals to hold negative opinions of Ariana and dislike her. However, when it came to Ariana popping off in the music scene, a lot of people disliked how she was able to become so big to the point where her new songs began surpassing many other celebs. And for that, the hate towards Ariana began at such an early stage of her career. If you know Ariana, then you know that this woman suffered from the internet accusing her of blackfishing almost every single day. And the weird part about it is that this accusation came after some people decided to edit pictures of Ariana on the red carpet to make her look black. Out of the blue, Ariana started going viral for allegedly blackfishing after fans noticed a huge difference between her current skin tone and her old ones. And to make it even worse, she even got accused of trying to act like a black person after she was seen hanging out with black people, including her ex, Big Sean. As much as you would think that these accusations look stupid now, at that time, Ariana had zero escape from the hate that she was receiving over these lies. If you guys have seen my previous video on Ariana, then you probably know the amount of body shaming comments people have been leaving under her recent pictures. I mean, she recently made tons of headlines about her role as Glinda for the upcoming movie Wicked after many fans noticed that Ariana's body had progressively gotten worse and worse with each picture she was posting. And while she got body shamed all over the internet following these pictures alone. Every time you scroll on social media, you would see at least someone body shaming Ariana for being skinny, making fun of her current body, and even comparing her looks to Eugenia Cooney, who is struggling with ED. And at that time, Ariana was constantly deleting pictures of herself and turning off her comment section whenever people decided to attack her look and call her anorexic. Of course, this situation settled down immediately once Ariana went on TikTok to address and express her feelings towards it. And as you guys can imagine, a lot of fans were extremely happy to see this side of Ariana again, as she seemed more vulnerable and open about her feelings to her fan base in this 3-minute video.
The body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body. I was on a lot of antidepressants, drinking on them, eating poorly.
This was probably the first time that Ariana has ever addressed her body online, because during the release of her sophomore album, My Everything, Ariana was going on the internet and trying to open up about her struggles so she could connect with her fans more and make them feel seen. But unfortunately, this situation backfired on her for some reason after many fans started pointing out how Ariana Grande lost a lot of weight in under a year. Of course, this conversation opened a debate on social media about Ariana's health and whether people around her are overworking her during this era or not, as her weight difference became apparent. Despite Ariana not addressing the rumors about her health, she still made it clear to her fans that she is in fact vegan, and she has always been vegan since she was a child. But still, fans found it strange how Ariana became super skinny compared to the release of her debut album, and for that they started arguing online that being vegan had nothing to do with Ariana losing weight, but instead she's either starving herself or her team is overworking her. I mean, have you guys forgotten about how people straight up made a challenge about Ariana's weight loss during this era? Yeah, guys. As worse as this could get, you guys, some fans even thought that mentioning Ariana's weight during this era could help promote her album somehow, because they decided to make a challenge where they recreate Ariana Grande's pose for her album My Everything on a small chair. And as you guessed it, this challenge went viral immediately. The amount of hate Ariana received from fans attempting this challenge was insane. I mean, people were constantly posting pictures of themselves attempting this challenge online. Some of them were even failing on purpose just to go on social media and joke about how Ariana is the only person who could face zero struggles sitting on a tiny chair. It's crazy how far the internet can go when it comes to women and their bodies. because no one was speaking up for Ariana at that time while she was witnessing every hate comment about her online. After years of people constantly bullying Ariana Grande for her weight loss, unfortunately this woman got involved in another internet discussion following her Sweetener album release. Only this time, you guys, people noticed that Ariana gained a bit of weight following her breakup with Mac Miller and the tragic incident that happened in Manchester. Now, I wouldn't say that a lot of people weren't happy about Ariana gaining some weight, since she was concerning a lot of fans throughout the years for being way too skinny. But during the Sweetener era, you guys, a lot of fans felt that Ariana was the healthiest she's ever been, as she seemed in quote unquote normal for some reason. However, one thing that people didn't know was that Ariana was actually suffering mentally and physically regarding the Manchester incident that went down back in 2017. I know this topic is a bit sensitive for some people, so I'm gonna put a trigger warning for you guys in this case. But during the Sweetener era, you guys, this album was supposed to be all about healing, mourning, failed relationships, and even exploring new chapters in life. And the main reason why Ariana made this album in the first place was because of the tragedy that went down at her concert in Manchester back in 2017. As you guys know, back in 2017, an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester got targeted by a terrorist attack while fans were leaving the venue, after 100 of them got injured and 22 others passed away. The incident shocked the world and was widely condemned as an act of senseless violence. It traumatized many people who witnessed the attack happening, and even Ariana as well, who thankfully was unhurt during the act. At that time, Ariana took a long break to grieve and help as many fans in need, as she expressed her condolences and solidarity with the victims and their families. And y'all, she even organized the One Love Manchester benefit concert just a few weeks later to raise funds for the victims and honor those affected by the attack. I wouldn't lie and say that Ariana was in a good place at that time, because she was constantly going on interviews trying to apologize for the fans who lost their lives and got traumatized from the incident.
Going back to Manchester and doing a benefit, I thought that was awesome of you, and just so I just think you're so strong.
Thanks.
And so cool.
And even a year later, she went on another interview for her album Sweetener to open up about her struggles with depression and how the Manchester attack really affected her mentally.
I was saying that you had sat and had therapy and have really been working through recovering from what took place in Manchester.
It's just about like just being there for each other and like helping each other through scary times and like anxiety. Some dark shit out there, man. So we just have to like be there for each other as much as we can.
Despite how Ariana was struggling with both the Manchester attack and the breakup between her and Mac Miller, people still managed to find ways to blame her for the Manchester incident by telling her that it was all her fault and this wouldn't have happened if she didn't perform there. Not only that, but some people were even poking fun at Ariana online by calling her many offensive names regarding the attack. And of course, this resulted in Ariana suffering from PTSD. Following the tragic event, Ariana Grande opened up about experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder after she expressed feelings of anxiety, fear, and hypervigilance, which are common symptoms of PTSD. And y'all, Ariana even shared a photo of her brain scan on her Instagram stories, which revealed how post-traumatic stress disorder had heavily impacted her brain. Ever since, Ariana has been candid about seeking therapy and counseling to cope with her trauma, and she has dedicated a song on her Sweetener album for the ones who lost their lives at her concert titled Get Well Soon. Now, a year after this situation went down and Ariana released her Sweetener album, she started stirring tons of controversies on social media after many fans pointed out how Ariana was allegedly shading her ex, Max Miller, in a couple of songs. And at that time, you guys, Ariana was in a relationship with Pete Davidson, so the internet was already against her for that, as many of them shipped Ariana with Mac Miller more. Unfortunately, you guys, not a month after Ariana released her album Sweetener back in 2018, her ex, Mac Miller, sadly passed away due to overdosing. And as you can guess, tons of people started blaming her ex's death on Ariana. Nearly all Twitter headlines mentioned Ariana's name when referring to Miller, even though she was in no way related to his death. And y'all, even Twitter users were trending the hashtag Ariana killed Mac Miller all over social media and blaming her for causing Mac to overdose. I can't describe it, but the hate was so extreme that Ariana was forced to disable her comment section on Instagram, as many people were blaming Mac Miller's passing to Ariana breaking up with him and releasing shady songs towards him. After almost 3 years of Ariana suffering from online hate, Ariana began slowly distancing herself from the music scene as it became way too toxic to even be online and present with her fans. However, following the launch of her beauty brand, Rem Beauty, Ariana got involved in another huge scandal after she was accused by millions of people of Asian bashing. This accusation came after Ariana made multiple Instagram posts wearing her beauty products on her face to promote it to her fans on Instagram. But for some reason, a lot of people disliked how her face completely changed during this era, as not only did they get accused of getting a brow lift to look Asian, but they also made fun of her online for getting surgeries done to her face. Not to mention, you guys, this wasn't the first time that Ariana has been accused of trying to look Asian and appropriating other cultures. Despite all that, Ariana did not hold back from responding to fans accusing her of appropriating Japanese culture. And while this was the response she made on Twitter following the hate she received regarding her Japanese aesthetic merch too. There's a difference between appropriation and appreciation. My Japanese fans were always excited when I wrote in Japanese or wore Japanese sayings on my clothing. However, all of the merch with Japanese on it was taken down from my site, not that anyone cared to notice. 2 years after Ariana released both albums, Thank You Next and Positions, which was her last, Ariana made the decision to take a long break from music to put more effort into her beauty brand, since the beauty industry is a very competitive place. And as a result of that, fans started paying thousands of dollars to leak old music that Ariana never got the chance to release officially. And that's when hell broke loose, you guys. I wouldn't know how to feel if I went on the internet one day and saw my own fans paying tens of thousands of dollars to leakers just to listen to the music I refused to release on streaming platforms. Well, yes, that's what happened with Ariana Grande this month, because many fans expected her to release new music soon after being gone from the music scene for a hot minute. And keep in mind, Ariana's schedule was very tight at that time, as she was not only focusing on creating new products for Rem Beauty and trying to compete with other brands, but she was also trying to film 2 roles for her upcoming movie, Wicked. So there was no way that Ariana would even be prepared to return to music and start a new era while she had other important projects going on in her life. However, she did give her fans something to keep them silent after she released a remix to the Weeknd song Die For You out of nowhere. And well, you can't imagine the amount of fans who were excited to hear Ariana's voice, because at that moment, people thought that, oh, Ariana is back feeding her fans with new music. However, things started going downhill from that point after tons of fans started demanding a new album from Ariana. And at that moment, Ariana had no chance but to be fully transparent with her fans after she hit them with the hard truth that she hasn't even started with her new album yet.
The truth is, I have not begun an album. I know I hear through the grapevine that you have a lot of theories and expectations in that department, but after Positions was not ready to start another album yet, so I have not begun another album.
I'm pretty sure that Ariana knew the consequences of this announcement, because not only did she start trending on Twitter, but fans started leaving the fandom and gathering almost $100,000 to buy Ariana's unreleased music. This started after some anonymous people who worked with Ariana began selling the music she made in their studio but didn't put out. And as a result, fans started buying almost every single one of them, to the point where the majority of her unreleased songs got leaked on the internet in seconds. Some fans even spent hundreds of dollars to buy photo shoot sessions that Ariana had for her album Positions. And to make this even worse, you guys, they gathered $3,000 to buy an unreleased Ariana Grande music video for her song POV after they had asked Ariana to release it a couple of years ago, but she refused to do it. Even though hundreds of projects were getting leaked by fans all over the internet, people were still excited to see the new projects from Ariana, whether they were recorded years ago or not. And well, you can imagine how Ariana felt about her fans spending thousands of dollars on rejected songs from her, because she recently went on Instagram to call out her fans by saying this in her video.
You've stolen all my unreleased music. It's horrible.
It's pretty obvious that Ariana was pissed at her private music getting leaked, because as much as she was trying her best to be calm and poke fun at this situation, it still sucks that her music got leaked by her own fan base without her permission. Despite all that, you guys, fans are still being delusional about Ariana returning to the music scene again after she archived the majority of her Instagram posts, despite Ariana still shooting her 2 movies while trying her best to manage Rem Beauty. And other than that, it was also rumored that Ariana was releasing a remix to Beyonce's song Plastic Off the Sofa, as she recently went to her concert in London and gave millions of fans hope. Ariana stands living off leaks songs. I understand that we want music, but this is exactly one of the reasons she left Twitter. Not y'all blaming the POV MV leak. Do you really think Ariana would go through the effort to archive 4K plus posts to punish us? Get a grip. Ariana is mad about those leaks, but IDC, she's starving us. I would like to hear your opinions on this situation down below, and also don't forget to click on the tab above for more videos on these celebs.